Hey guys, so the plan today is to install this dash cam here. Actually, I've got one for myself and one for Vicky here. It's a fairly simple dash cam. It's made by a company called Bai. I've never heard of it before. I bought it locally from a seller in the Toronto area, and the plan is put that in the old Civic here, and well, hopefully we'll catch a couple of interesting things. Usually every week I see some weird thing going on. That certainly would be interesting to see on a dash cam. Now, as far as the dash cam goes, basic dash cam, no GPS, has a motion shock sensor in it, has a viewfinder on the back, has a internal battery, but that's one of the complaints I would have about this thing. It doesn't have a lot of life. Just leaving it idle for a day and the battery's pretty much toasted. Comes with a car adapter that's got a nice long cable for it, home PC adapter, and a suction mount for the top. I wasn't intending this to be an unboxing video. I already took all the packing out and the instruction manual out for what it was worth. But I'll put this in. It shouldn't be too big a deal. Really, it should just be no more than, suction cupping this to the window behind the mirror, clipping this to it and plugging this in, and we're good to go. And then we'll take it for a quick run and we'll look at the quality of it. Now, it's probably worth mentioning, it's about 50 bucks Canadian for one of these, so it's not an expensive dash cam. I'm not expecting a whole lot from it. It's supposed to be capable of 1080p at 30 frames a second. We'll see what comes out. So, first thoughts on the installation of this unit here before I ever actually use it. Installation was peanuts. It literally was suction cup the unit onto the dash, clip the camera unit in, plug the cable in, route it down the pillar here underneath the dash, and plug it in. Now, I noticed this seems a little loose, but it remains to be seen if that'll be an issue. This unit does not have an auxiliary USB port on it, so seeing as how this is the only 12-volt power outlet I have in this car, that means that while this thing is plugged in, I can't charge a cell phone in here. Apart from that, I'm not too worried about it. I would have liked it more if that bracket was shorter. Personally, I did not want it to be visible from the driver, so it wasn't a distraction, because in Ontario there is some laws regarding that. Unfortunately, because that bracket is so huge, and because of the way that the Civic is, where they've got this kind of like a shaded dot pattern, it's actually something that's almost like it's silk screened on there. It wouldn't maintain any kind of adhesion to that, so I have to mount it a little bit lower. Well, remains to be seen if that's going to be an issue. If it does, I might make a custom bracket that attaches into the mirror somehow, something along that line. It maybe tucks up under here. You use up a little bit of this bracket, but make my own kind of a thing. We'll see how we go. If it's a problem, it's a problem. Otherwise, I won't worry about it too much. Okay, so I thought I'd just quickly use my camera before I get out onto the road here, and then I'll turn it off and go back to the dash cam. Picture quality doesn't look to be too bad on the unit itself. I don't know what you can see here, actually, looking at the viewfinder on my camera. Video of a video. I know it's kind of garbage, but it looks to be not too bad. So we'll transfer over to it and we'll see how we go here. Hopefully the mic is on it, otherwise I'll have to dub something in. So let's go. So one thing I did notice with this camera, when I first got it, it acted quite erratically before it had any battery charge in it. What it had was, it would flash the welcome screen on and off, and on and off, and until the battery got a little bit of charge, and then it would then it kind of sorted itself out. So just keep that in mind when you buy it and you first are charging it, if you're using this exact model. Now, otherwise, it doesn't seem to be working too badly here. I try not to be distracted by it. That's why I wanted that behind the rear view mirror. But we'll see how the quality turns out, and go from there. I'll just take a quick run down the end of the road. I really didn't intend this to be a review of this thing. I just want to see what you guys thought of one of these things, or give you, the option to see one of these things. 50 bucks Canadian isn't bad for one. It isn't the deluxe one. Some of the ones I'd seen before that I'd looked at were about, this was probably a year ago, so they probably dropped a lot, but they were around $250. They claimed HD 1080p, but they were only 15 frames a second, and the difference with those ones was that they had the GPS built into it, so they would record your speed and your location at the time. This bird just sitting there in the middle of the road. Well, we'll see if that picks up on the camera there. In any case, so we'll just take a quick run down to the end of the road. Most of the trees around here have lost their leaves, so we lost a lot of the color. The image looks a little bit dark on the monitor, but we'll see how we go. Like the next big concern I think I'll have with this thing will be whether or not that suction couple will stay stuck either in the cold or when it gets really hot. Well, by that time we'll probably have sorted out a different bracket for it, because I actually don't like the fact that it is visible from the driver's position there. Now, one thing that is not 100% clear to me is it does have a G sensor in it, so it's supposed to detect a collision and automatically put that file into kind of a locked state so it won't get automatically overwritten, but I'm not sure how long the video will last, like how long it will take before it will loop the video. As it sits right now, the maximum size micro SD card this unit will take is 32 gigs. So I don't know if that means it'll loop, like 5 hours, 10 hours, or 1 hour for that matter. I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see the results of that. I'll do a follow-up video on that and let you guys know how that works out. So here we are, home sweet home. We'll turn in. Now, one thing I will say about this unit is that the SD card does not come out of it very easily. It's kind of mounted a little bit recessed, and it's actually quite difficult to get it, first of all the way in, and then to get it back out in the first case. So I'm going to go inside and I'm going to try out or render this video and see what the footage looks like and let you guys know. Okay, I'm going to give this a second try. I was not particularly impressed by the video quality, and I changed it from some wide angle view to regular 1080p, and we'll see how this goes. I'll just take a quick run in the other direction. Any of these videos I shoot, I always go north instead of south. So, yeah, I was very underwhelmed by the quality of the video that I saw there. It looked pretty bad. So let's take a quick run just over past the bridge here, turn around and come back, and we'll go and drop that onto the computer and have another look again. It looks like the video file size, you can set the file length to 1 minute, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes, and that seems to me to be awfully short. There is also the option of setting it off, which I'm not sure what that does. So we'll see. I'll try it later on and go from there. But regardless, yeah, so far I'm not too impressed with this camera. See how we go, change the resolutions, mess around. I never did actually see a native camera resolution. It may be possible that it looked that pixelated because it'll make a recording in 1080p, but the recording resolution is quite low. Certainly, I had an old video camera that was that way. It would produce files that were 1080p or it was 1080i, And in actual fact, the native resolution of the camera itself was 640 by 480. So it was just upsampling the image and then just producing a file that was of that resolution, which quite frankly is useless. You're just making a larger file size for no reason. Anyways, we'll stop. We'll have another look at this, and then I'll give my opinion, or I'll let it run for the week, and we'll give you an opinion next weekend about how it looks. Well, third try's a charm here. I had a little coughing jag there and ruined my third take at this little comment segment here. Okay, so I had a look at that video footage that I just recorded in the vehicle PVR, and if you look at the tail end of it when I was pulling up the driveway, it actually looks like it was massively overexposed, and I'm wondering if there's some issue with that. There are exposure settings. I don't know what they mean. I'm not a camera guy, but I might play with those and we'll see how they go. We're getting a day where it's alternating between sunny and cloudy, so maybe that's playing havoc with it. I don't know. Anyways, I'll play with that and I'll give you guys a follow-up review by the end of the week, and probably by then I'll have a few clips that are worth sharing with you guys. Okay? See you later. Thanks for watching.